Hello, and welcome to the Hawks Nest Patreon style. My name is, of course, Brandon. I want to say thank you to all of you out there that have joined up here on my Patreon page. It has been a little bit long neglected on my part as far as not getting you guys some unique content just to you for you guys' patronage towards me, but it's very much appreciated, and I think it's about time for me to start rectifying that situation. So I've had some ideas on how I could kind of build this page out a little bit. And where I think we're going to start from is I'm going to start doing some of my scouting here on this page. One of these prospects we're looking at in this upcoming draft, guys Seattle might target, players specifically who I think will be suited or best fitted to Seattle's scheme. I'm going to probably not be looking at as much of the high-end guys that they have no chance of really drafting at this point, unless there, of course, is some crazy Russell Wilson trade last minute. But I'm going to more lock into those guys that'll be into that second round all the way, probably deep into the sixth, seventh round, potentially even, because this is a draft with a lot of interesting potential prospects out there, guys that really jump out to you, and a couple of guys that I think are really good fits for Seattle. So we're going to be going through doing this series. I'll also be doing it with potential free agents, trade partners. So if we have mid-season guys that we're looking to target, so then we can look at a little bit more film. Just got a little bit more flexibility here on Patreon than I had to do necessarily over on the YouTube page. So hopefully you guys appreciate this or like this. If you do, please let me know. Other than that, we're going to get in on here with the show. We're going to start out for the first prospect off the board, which is going to be one Mr. Creed Humphrey. This is the Oklahoma center. They call him the Oklahoma Wall. It's a pretty cool little nickname. He's a very fun prospect to watch. Figured we'd dive into him. He's a guy that's mocked highly to Seattle on a lot of different mocks. Some people think maybe he'll be picked a little bit higher than where we will be picking at kind of the mid-late to second round range of things. But I actually think he might probably be available for some of the reasons that we'll get into this video. So let's dive on into one Mr. Humphrey. And thank you again for your patronage. Okay, so we've got one Mr. Creed Humphrey, which is an awesome name in itself, out here manning the middle, and most certainly if that's not a center name, if I've ever heard one, I don't know what a center name is. Now, Creed played a little bit of his early career in college, the guard spot, but he was late arrival over there to the center position, so he does provide you a little bit of position flexibility in that respect. Of course, Oklahoma for years now has produced some pretty good offensive linemen at the next level, including, I believe, one Mr. Trent Williams. So there's some pedigree involved here. You get a lot of the 4- and 5-star type recruits to these type of teams. And he is certainly in that same kind of mold. He's not necessarily super uber talented, but what I want to do here is just let you watch a little bit of tape here. I'll pause and rewind and comment. I'm going to just sort of freeform this, I'm going to Jimi Hendrix this. Just kind of go all over the place, and I might light my guitar on fire at the end. So prepare your mind, body, and soul. But let's just go ahead and dive forward on this. Let's see what we see on the tape. I'm going to go through a little bit on this guy. We're going to be fairly thorough with it. I want to dive into some stuff here with him and see what you guys think. So give a little pop-up to let you know he's in the middle. Ooh, right out the gate, putting his man on the ground and giving a little bit of the business. It's not too bad. Walls off defender, turns him away from the running lane. This is what they say when they go technician. Again, this is his number one skill here you're going to see on that. So again, they did a good job here in giving you in this cut up of film 3 plays right out the gate that show you exactly what he can do. Number 1, nastiness. Okay, number 2, technician. I'm going to pause this. Now, number 5 right now is not having a good time. This is not a good day for Mr. Number 5. And that's because Mr. Creed Humphrey has walled him off. And as you can see, 26, he is shooting through this. You can't see it on this angle. You'd see it with the all-22, but there's an actual lane. You see 22 with his back faced that way. You got the right tackle with his back faced. So what they've done is they've created what a good offensive line should do here, which is create that lane to go right down through the lane there and give that running back a good first option. Now, it's pretty clear right now where he sits. This guy's out of the play and not a problem for this running back. But again, Creed Humphrey makes this work by clearing essentially that one tech and doing it on his own, by the way, which is the impressive part. He's not getting a lot of help. This guy's just sort of just patting this guy on the back saying, good job. Nice job trying against Mr. Humphrey, but he's not going to let you get anywhere. And then the third play we see, I think, is what is his best, most remarkable skill here coming up, and that's going to be him in pass protection because the guy just does not give up pressures. He does not get pushed back. This is number 56 you want to look at on your screen here. Once again, bam, just basically one-on-one, getting no help from the left guard there, taking on a 3 tech, has no problem with it. Just constantly moving guys out of lane. Again, number 5, not a good day for him on that one. Here we go again. Almost like sometimes it's almost like he's not even trying, but you just watch the men slowly get bent down to the ground. They just look at this, just see. He's not seeming to do anything remarkable here. Like just he's not meat plowing him, right? There's not something going down here where he's doing some magnificent or amazing block here. All he's doing is locking the guy up and then just you're down now. You're on the ground. He just gets them to a give up place. That's another very impressive thing. We're watching this out of pass protection. This isn't him going forward. This is him getting guys with a knee on the ground, falling down to the ground, just in pass protection. And again, one-on-one from the center position. Most of the time you'd expect a center to be helping out here or, asking again, another pancake just throws the man to the ground. You can see this isn't a cut up of a lot of games. This is the same cow game here, basically. We'll get a little bit of a difference one on this slide of things. Again, good in pass protection. You just see his guy always on the ground, always that defensive tackle rushing, always seemingly falling down or out of the play, certainly not generating any kind of pressure. Again, there just did enough to get through. This is again, he's not going to be an intimidating guy off the line of scrimmage as far as his ability to get down to the second level fast. Ideally off this snap, you'd like him 2 to 3 yards down on that level, getting down and attacking that linebacker off the hole. But instead, he sort of kind of belabors it a little bit because he's not always going to trust his own athletic. He knows his own limitations, which is a nice thing. Shouldn't we all kind of know? But he just will get the job done too. This is the technician combined with the smarts of the position and understanding what it takes to play offensive line. So you see, he doesn't block him up here really well, just kind of gets his body in front of him and sort of olays him a little bit to get him in the spot. But most of the time it's like this. Bam, I get you off the snap. I get you one-on-one off the snap. Watch this again. Watch what 92 does here. I'm coming. Bam. Now look, they're running a stunt game here. So 92's job on this is to crush this pocket for the stunt to round out both ways and suffocate the pocket. If he can't get Creed Humphrey to back off his spot there, he's not done his job. He's basically failed at that point. So he knows right here, I've got to go here. This guy's going to loop this way. This guy's going to loop that way. My job is to wreck shop through the middle so these guys have an easier job moving around. He's essentially being asked to do somewhat of the dirty work here. Normally, you'd expect him to have to do this dirty work with, let's say, a guard center combination here. But instead, you're going to see Humphrey take him on one-on-one to allow the guard to stay free on that side, the guard to stay free on this side. And this is, again, his value. This is pass protection, ability to lock. Bam, you're locked up. Gives up maybe a yard with the guy running full speed at him. Maybe a yard there. Again, just doesn't look like he's doing a whole lot. Doesn't look like it, but you just see guys neutralized against him. He understands hand placement and where he needs to be. To play in and play out, he always understands the right position that he needs to be in to put the block down correctly. There's a little combo block. Well, that's a nice little thing you get to see there. Little bounces off. This is what you want to see as centers. Can you block multiple guys in one thing? Can you help out one way, come back to the other way? That's what he does. He hits this guy at first. Oh, let me come back, grab that guy right there and clear him up. Handle that stunt up a little bit. Here against Alabama, real competition. Again, just holds the line. Not really getting any help. Like his guard's sort of selling him a little bit. His guard and some of the stuff and what we saw a little bit of the other tape, he's getting sold on this particular play. Watch this guard. Like the guard gives him a little handy pat, but this is now all him. Him taking a big one tech. He's got to try to find it. And what you're going to see him do is he's going to take a step or two back. He eventually locks in there to allow the quarterback to then do what he needs to do back there. But this is his impressive. See how he just holds in. That's tough to do against a one tech. Again, in pass protection, you'd normally expect another guy helping out the center there, not the center being asked to do this all sort of on his own, which is what the Oklahoma scheme asked him to do quite a bit. Again, bam, you're locked out. Doesn't give up a yard. Doesn't give up a yard there. Just you're locked. Combo blocks off the one to the second. Zone principles. Oh, can he get in space? Can he get in space? Okay, this is not his game. Now, this is not his plus side of his game. Again, this is what we're going to look at is why is he going to last in the second round if he's so good? You say, Brandon, why will he last into the second round? Well, because here you go. You got him right here. Now, normally with a guard here, they're going to be plotters anyway. They're not tackles if you get them pulling. But you would, or centers even with their pulling, but you'd hope we could maybe get a little bit more out to this edge. What you're going to see is he's pretty much even with him right here out the gate where you'd actually hope for him to have a little bit of a head start so he can read him off his block. As it is right now, the running back's going to have to kind of slow down a little bit, let him get a little bit further downfield and choose which direction is go. And he gets a little bit indecisive about where he wants to lay his block. He kind of, oh, I'll go here, or, go here. I think he tried to get a couple in one and didn't get any in any. It won't be and that's the place where he could maybe neutralize himself a little bit from Seattle in their scheme, but he can do some reach block stuff because he's not worried about being caught off guard. He's not worried about you catching him where he can recover and adjust because he's so good fundamentally in what he does with his hands. This is, I think, back at Florida when he was playing left guard. See him right there. And again, just easy, right through his hole, right up the A gap. Here we go, up on the 3, comes down to the linebacker, boom, walls the linebacker off. Now, he doesn't know what's happening here. I mean, this is the thing you got to understand on a play like this. Is that the one we're watching? I didn't go back far enough. Again, this right up in the middle. Clean, clear, guard and center work well together. Here's the play I wanted to show you on this one. He doesn't know that this doesn't go for as much as it could have gone for, but he, as far as his understanding is, I handle my first layer of the block, I get down to my second layer of the block. Okay, handle the first, now I'm down to the second. Clear wall. Again, not just trying to get the block done, not just, let me just do enough to get it handled, right? Because if this breaks free, okay, if Captain Fantastic 33 isn't here, which he doesn't know that 33 is going to come make this, essentially muck this play up, this guy's walled, and if he can look where he is right now. Where he is right now, that guy's got a chance to get to the ball carrier, even if these two guys lay their block, and 33 is not a problem. So what he's got to do is find a way to get himself twisted inside without doing a hold. This is some savvy, good technical stuff. Bam, where's he at? Where's he end up at? Walled off to the defender in great position. If this 33 isn't here and these blocks are sealed, that's a home run. That's going the distance. Again, just kind of getting his arms in. Good stuff. Solid. He's always solid in his blocking. Nothing spectacular necessarily other than his ability to root down in pass protection one-on-one. That is his one again. Just singling up on guys and they get him down to a knee. I mean, he's just... And it's almost an effortless in the way he does it. It's effortless power in how he is able to push them down like that. And that just, to me, jumps out to me on a skill set for a center, having that kind of bit of tenacity, but just an ability to really utilize the fundamentals and technique in order to get the better of your man, along with good power. He's got some naturally very good power from the center position, no doubt about that. Here we go. He knew he was up for something there. Gets a little bit more help with the double team. This is a little more what you'd normally now see with the center getting a little bit more help. They know they got a tougher path. Alabama's going to be tougher. They can't leave him out there on that island against Alabama. Let's go back on that play and see if that was his fault. I don't think it was. He's going over to the right. He's going over the one tech. And right now he's helping out in the one tech. So this is Leatherwood's problem, which is not surprisingly because Leatherwood is another guy that some people like. But I think that's Leatherwood. But no, it's not Leatherwood. He's on Alabama. That's something. But this guy's the problem for this. But he's doing just fine. He's combo blocking at one tech. This is where sometimes the center position gets devalued in the league because those so often will be doing that in pass protection. Rarely are you going to have a one-on-one handling business there that time. In on his helps the guy, stays in good position. It's not hard for him. I got this. Keeps the guy back. Not even there's no chance he's going to split him. Just handling business. And he plays with tenacity. It's not that he doesn't care, or that he doesn't, or that he's not playing with that kind of upper level effort. He is. It's very easy for him because he understands how to just do the basic components. When you have the fundamentals right, you don't need to have to go outside yourself to execute your block. You can just stick to your form. I mean, this is one of the ultimate guys in that respect. So a fascinating prospect here off of our first little bit of tape in him. Let's see if we can get a little bit more game film on him. All right, so we've got Creed Humphrey here in the Oklahoma Sooners going up against Texas in this last 2020 season. Texas was rated, of course, 22 in this game. They've got a very interesting defender named Asai in this draft who will probably go somewhere around in the second roundish. I think they've got an interesting secondary player or two as well. But other than that, pretty much they are not super great defensively. They're a little younger talented-wise, but still a good test up against our Creed Humphrey in this game, I thought. So let's give him a run here and see how he does. Right out the gate there, doing a nice job one-on-one against a defender, walls him off, turns him off, just like we want to see. Again, the times you watch on tape here with Oklahoma that they put their center in one-on-one situations, asking him to both block a one-tech one-on-one and even a three-tech in pass protection is pretty interesting to watch. So creating some holes out the gate here. Look at this. Does just kind of enough. Oh, that's right on the line of hold. He was playing the line of hold, and he is definitely a savvy guy who will toe that line very often, but got away with it. There just runs the defender out. Nice technique. Guy beats him off the snap, recovers, runs him out of the play, allows the quarterback to step up. He's kind of standing there on that one. Not a lot he did there. Here he helps out a little bit of a combo block play. This play's an interesting one. This shows off a little bit of his slow steps. Okay, so when we back up this tape on that particular play, let's back it up. The way that this play is supposed to go, Creed snaps the ball. He then feigns like he's in pass protection, and then he's going to come downhill looking for a linebacker to block or who's ever in his basic zone. I think it's kind of a zone type play with more of a leaning towards probably looking to find a linebacker if you can. What happens is he gets kind of slow to get to his feet going, and then he's slow already anyway. And so he's almost at that point, even with the quarterback, once the quarterback starts to run. So here we go. Bam, bam, bam. Quarterback's running, bam. Now, you see here he's trailing the defender, and this is not his problem here. These are other guys that have not done their job basically, but he may have also could have chosen a different guy, as well as he's late coming downhill because he's a little bit not the most fleet-footed, and this might be something that pushes him off to Seattle in general because the scheme will look for linemen that can move a little bit faster. But with that said, because he's such a technician, I think he could do a lot of the reach block type stuff that Seattle asked their offensive linemen to do in their scheme, or going to probably ask them to do in this given scheme. Gets out and moves. Again, just such a subtle, I think I'd call him the subtle technician. If I had to call him, so watch him on this, he comes off the snap. He's got to take a couple steps over to his left to get a little bit of a cheat up on that of the one tech, locks in the one tech. Turn again, like I've showed you guys before on this stuff, does a great job of understanding where the running back's going to come from and how to keep the defender completely away from the running back. Wall him off. Do not give him an opportunity to snap back into the play off the backside, toss you aside and throw an arm out there to get him. This completely, basically, essentially, blocks the player outside of everything you could ask for, being like a pancake block. But he gets out there, look, turn, snap. There, and big play, 15, 20, 25 yards down the football field. That's how you get it done. Again, this is going to be a great angle. Look, he's not even there off the snap. He's not got a cheat head start of that guy at that point. He's got to get over to that spot. This is where I think he'll have just enough movement to fit into our offense. It's not necessarily his plus skill, but because he's so smart, understands body positioning so well, I think that's where it's going to really still accommodate him okay. Here he does pretty much his job. Again, that looked like somebody else's fault on that one. Helps on the backside of the block, gets back in there, clean things up. Just like savvy center. That's just like what you want to see him doing. Have him out here pulling a little bit. Again, nice in pass protection, not giving a lot of ground, just as we've seen throughout here. Again, out in space, a little uncomfortable out in space. He wants to be more now near the line of scrimmage. I don't know if you guys noticed that. And again, just such subtleties for the guy. Watch him here as we're coming up, and he just sort of throws the lineman to the ground, just using his momentum against him as he's coming into the backfield. Just hip checks him, say, beep, beep. Just got to toss him down, just using he's already moving forward. You just push him on his back. He's going to fall right over. The official will probably never catch it. This is the epitome, you guys and girls, potentially, of what you draw up a center to be like and how you want them to be at the position, as far as just the grittiness he brings and the smarts he brings and the technique he brings. Just what you would expect is sort of the cliche type center. but he understands what he's doing out there. He's got a plan. He knows what he's executing. If he doesn't execute his first plan, he's got a second plan of attack. I like seeing this type of stuff. All right. So we've got a little rollout here. It's good. Again, there he's that's kind of odd there on the blocking. He sort of blocked the guy into it. All right, there Joseph Asai gave him some problems. They actually showed you on the play, and this one is probably largely on Creed. Let's go back and watch it. So you got Asai, as they point out here. He's going to come up in a stunt. This is usually something Creed does pretty good with, but on this play, he gets so bottlenecked into blocking down on the guard and getting onto that, because he's got three defenders. So the way this looks, pre-snap to an offensive line is, okay, you get him, right guard, you get him, and then I'll get this guy heads up, and we'll be good to go. But this guy doesn't come strong with it, which has him then blocking down, which then allows Asai to come swooping in. Yep, and they're relying on that running back there. Now, Creed, again, this is what I'm talking about is, okay, so he is, as you look right here, we stop this. Creed Humphrey's helping on that one tech right now. And then you've got the running back in as sort of a safety option. And it could be that they've told Creed to block him here. And if it is a stunt, that the running back will be there to clean it up if that's what goes down like that. That could be just how their pass protection is set up, and it looks like that, frankly. But watch how Creed still then recovers and gets a hand onto Asai. He doesn't just give him a free run at the running back to drill him back into the quarterback's lunch. He lets him, he gets a hand on him and is able to neutralize him really. Look, boom, I'll pick him right up. Now it's a fumble. Again, I said initially it might be on him. There's a chance there. Let's watch it one more time. But I think in watching this a second time, this is why we watched this a couple times. I think that they had the running back there in the hole to take that guy on if he ran that stunt, and he did the best he could to help that running back out. Did okay there again, just trying with his technique to try to win. The guy kind of long-armed him a little bit. Good job hitting his first block, going to his second block. This is a skill you need to see centers have. In a zone system, you want to see it as a general skill overall, but you certainly want to see it at the center position in zone or not zone. Those guys got to be able to help out in blocks. They got to be able to get multiple blocks in on one play and be effective in doing so. A little wall off there. Nice job. Fender kind of ragdolls him around a little bit, but he gets the job done. That's what this guy does. He gets the job done. Okay, oop, little combo block, like it. That's very nice. I think he picked up that second guy, which allowed his quarterback not to get drilled there on the play. Trying to get out in the second level. He's just kind of looking. Find somebody. Hey, he found somebody. He was out there in the forest looking around on that play. We'll roll out. We'll move the pocket. I like Lincoln Riley's offense. It's so inventive with what you're watching the linemen do, and everybody's doing different things, and what they do and how they do it is very unique. It's part of the reason I like this guy quite a bit as a future potential head coach to take over for Carroll if he were to so want. And again, here does his job. This is a run to the outside, so it doesn't really impact the center on a play like that, but he did what he's supposed to do. Get the job done. One of my many nicknames for him, Oklahoma. The Oklahoma Wall, get the job done. It all applies to him. You can see there's no pressure coming up the middle here. When he's getting pressured, it's because he's holding on the ball too long a little bit, or they might get a little bit out of the edges, but he's keeping everything clean right up the middle. We got a block here. Gets into his man there. This little bit of struggle again. That's more of that reach block where he's got to get sideways and start sort of get a few steps out there before he figures out what his quarterback is having a tough day. He's having a hard one. Now this guy's just a little shook. He's a little shook here. Just a tiny bit. He ain't completely shook. Just a tiny bit. All right, good little combo block. Gets the second level. Can he find a block? Can he find a block? Can he find a block? I'm not sure. He was off screen on that one. Lays it in there pretty nice. Does what he's supposed to do. This is easy here. Just take on your guy, get a little bit of ground. Doesn't really win, or it's pretty much a neutralization there. The running back just picks a good hole. So that was not necessarily a win on his part. Picks up the stunt through there, cleans it up, handles both of them. Just getting the job done. It's not a flashy thing. There's not a lot of flash and dash to his skill set. He's not going to blow you away with any one thing. It's just a matter of getting the job done. And in this guy, I see a guy with probably not star potential at the center level, but a guy who could be an upper level, above average center at this, and very quickly out the gate. I don't think he's going to take a lot of time to develop to that point because he is such a technician. See it again there. These guys are getting in the backfield. It's not him. He rounded his guy out, locked him out. He's fine. Again, bang. That's the Oklahoma wall thing. Out of pass protection, I'll take 2-3 steps, but then I'm anchored in, and you're not going to get another yard past me at that point, nor you're going to get free of me. Once he gets his hands on you, you're clenched up, you're locked up, you're not going to get him off. I don't care what rip move you have or swim move you have. He'll stay in on you. A little bit of pull. Ooh, look at that. Look at that push. It sent that guy 4 yards down the field there, that push. He's got legitimate football strength, too. That should translate to the position. Above average strength for a center. Again, just locked out, no threat. One-on-one, once again, over and over again. Okay, there he missed the guy. That's a little bit of him. The quarterback cleaned that one up. Walls off again. Beautiful. Not only gets the block, walls it, watch his back here. Watch 56 turn his back here and get this guy. Oh, you're blocked. Now I'm going to turn. See, that's just a subtle little thing like that. But you're not only getting the job done, you're getting a job done almost with excellence there. You're going above and beyond what you're needing to get done with that block. And it's the technique they teach, but it's the technique that so rarely sometimes these guys will do, where they'll just get it done. I'm not wallowing him. I'm just sort of I'm fighting with him, and I'll make it work. Good there again. Solid there in pass protection. Bam. Right up in there. Again, go right up the middle where you're going to go right over 56. Why not? That's more of the right guard did the work there, but he did his job. Now, there's a lot of easy, quick completions, too, that aren't going to challenge your offensive line, Lincoln Riley's offense, which will make it at times difficult to sometimes tell, what's going on. But there's enough in here, I think, as you are all seeing, where we go, okay, he's doing some things here. Okay, loops around, picks up the stunt. That was a little bit of they were sort of playing the pass protection there. Got his guy on the ground on that one. Just constantly walling off. Look at, see, he knows. Yeah, see again. The two things that are there's three things that we see time and time again happening on these type of plays. Time and time again. And what you see time and time again is not only does he get the block down on the toughest run of the two defensive tackles, the right, essentially what would be the left defensive tackle, but to him, the right defensive tackle, the one tech, is the hardest guy to block because he's the biggest guy. Look at him. Look at these two guys here on the defensive tackle position. Which of these two guys is bigger to you? This guy right here. This guy's the mountain guy. So he's the guy that's the hardest to block one-on-one. And normally you're going to have this guy and Humphrey blocking this guy to create your hole. But instead they think Humphrey's good enough to not only block him, but wall him, which is what he does is that wall technique. And then bam, the running back's right down the lane for the big run. Watch again how they do this. See, they trust him so much. This is what makes the big plays. His one-on-one block allows you to pull the right guard out rather than having to block the one tech, and gets him back out in space along with 59 here to create the lane. They've already got this guy coming down. This guy thinks he's free. He's about to get whammo blocked, and then 59 comes down the path and hits through here. Running back makes one guy miss, and he's gone. But it's Humphrey's block right here, being able to handle that one tech one-on-one, along with the guy to his left who's doing a good job there. And look at this off the snap. He's not gained a single yard yet here, right? We haven't gotten to the handoff yet, but it's been basically he's locked. He's got him blocked out equivalent. What you'll see him do is he's going to walk him a step down and then watch him turn his back again to the running back, keeping the defender pinned away from the player, not able to get back into the play to make a tackle. Subtleties, technique, grit. That's what he's bringing to your team. This is not what he's bringing to your team. He's getting to the second level. This is where he's going to struggle. This, to me, is why he goes to the second round. See, he kind of gets out in space. Watch him just kind of, okay, he does good here. He's at the line of scrimmage. I'll help. That part's good. But then there's not really anything for him to do. Doesn't really know where he's going to go out to or what he doesn't have much of a plan of attack into that second level. Again, wall him off, give him a lane. Had him in space, and he completely whiffed the guy there. Did well there in pass protection. When there, he took advantage of the defensive lineman getting kind of fooled on where that hole was going. Ooh, that play was going nowhere. That's not good tape there, Creed. That's not good tape there. All right, another pull. Good pull. Locks on the defender. Nice. It's looking okay. The early tape in this game was a little bit better on him. It's been a little bit rougher as we're watching him go along here. He's had a couple of mistakes. Overall solid, but just a couple of mistakes. That's why you lean to sometimes those Pro Football Focus scores, because they're watching play in and play out of a guy. What does he do over the course of a whole game? Well, I'd like a little more finish there from him. Giving up at times here. I don't know if he's getting a little tired in this game. It's overtime. You know, you're beat, but this is for game now. I need you to go for it. I need you to be in it. Third down, 31 now. 38-38. Where you at? What block you got? Ooh-wee. Looks like we got it. It's on you now, Creed. Come on, lock down, buddy. Oh, got to catch that. Going back to running game. No. No, that didn't go. Come on, you guys got to get a touchdown here. Creed with the block. Just kind of. So again, I'm going to come back on this, and this second part of this tape has not been as good. But here's where he is. He's got the guy set up. You know, in my opinion, there you've got everything kind of set up for you here to go. Whereas this guy's going to come down and take care of him. Creed's got to handle this guy one-on-one. And this is the one place that shows up on film over and over again where he does struggle. But to me, it's his only real place that he struggles on tape. For the most part, he doesn't show a penchant for having the other kind of mistakes. But you see there, you got your hat on him. He's back. Like, he shouldn't get off you at this point. This guy you should deliver him somewhere right behind this AT&T sign on this particular play. But he's not as comfortable out there moving in space and moving forward. And it causes the guy to back into the play and manages to get the stop on the goal line. Nice little push there by Creed to get him in. But that's just some of what I'd like to see maybe a little better with him, is him being able a little bit more on that second level to develop, because I do think that's going to be a little bit of a part of what they do, especially the pull game. And again, it may be a little bit of a stuff to hold them back on, but we're asking him to play center here, not guard. And so that's where I think Seattle might be a little bit more forgiving with him, especially with his ability to hold up on one-on-one blocks outside of that aspect of it. What you're usually wanting a guy to do on reach blocks and move blocks is to get out into one-on-one points anyway. He can get there. He just doesn't get there by the conventional standard of things. All right, looks like there's a touchdown. Wow, this is a wild game. Wild game. And on the winner, it looks like he goes in, helps out on the inside. Perfect technique. Waits for the man to bounce inside. Doesn't get reachy for him here. There's nothing spectacular on this final play, but it's just a nice play. You watch him here. Doesn't get reachy. So this is going to be your one tech, essentially, again, guy going up against their right guard. First goes to an outside move. 56 doesn't go back out and loop around. He just holds his ground. And then when he does eventually pinball back to the inside, you got Humphrey ready for him. Boop. I'm ready for you, sucker. Handles business. Touchdown throw, touchdown catch, game over. Big time game, big time win. Okay, for our last little bit of tape here on Creed Humphrey, I want to take a look at this TCU game against them. So we get a little bit of upper-level competition to a degree with Texas. Now we get a little bit of a lower end, not lower end competition. TCU is a pretty good program overall. They just maybe a little bit of a down year for them last year to a bit of a degree from where they've been kind of on their rise momentarily. We got Creed in the game and our man in the middle here again. We'll go through here and see how he does. Again, just going to be solid, I think, here again this game. Nothing super spectacular, but just really good. Really good. Interested to see how he goes. So nothing fancy here, just sort of uses his leg. Just sort of, he gets the job done, as I've said before, again, time and time again, by any means necessary. He's just that type of guy. Here he, a little bit again, that's where you're going to see on a play like that, where his lack of fleet of foot is going to show up. Because when he gets out here, he's got to get out wide on this guy, and he just can't get his feet out wide enough. This will be this. Yeah, I've said a couple times. This will be the thing that gets Seattle's goat when they look at the film on him. Now, it's not his fault necessarily completely. He's being asked to perform an incredibly difficult reach block. The defensive tackle has timed the snap really well. So he's getting a pretty good little head start here. These other two linemen are leaving the area basically, so it's all on him. If we were to watch this from the all-22, you see his left foot is essentially aligned with his left foot, meaning he's almost a half a man outside head start as he's trying to snap a ball and then get enough movement to catch him before he can get to his left outside shoulder. And Humphreys is not quite fast enough to get out there and do it. Some of that's just a little bit of the guy made a great play on the ball. You just tip your hat to it. Some of it is, again, just he doesn't always have the greatest of foot speed. So that's the thing where that can give Seattle a little bit of hesitance because they're going to ask their center to make that kind of block. They're saying, we need you to reach down and down block it and find a way to get it done. Oh, goodness. Just giving the kid the business on that one. He's showing off a little bit of his nastiness here. Just good. Right at the top of your screen there, 56. Watch 56 here. Good. You son of a... Just puts him right down. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. A little help on a combo block there, which was good. Screen freaked out for a second. Sorry. That was nice to see. Moving down through again. Picking up yards in the run game. Five's doing pretty good. Nice overhead shot here. Makes it hard to see what the hell is going on. Rattler. Got him pulling. A little pull. Oh, it's kind of moving the pocket a little bit. Ooh, very nice. Very nicely done. Okay. Pulling out to the side. Not much there. Just kind of okay on that one again. Don't like him going sideways. But here we see what he does good. Just look at the guy. Doesn't even help. Now he can come back. That guy comes back and keeps that guy off just enough. I mean, it's again sometimes the subtleties of watching things. Watch how this goes now. He's looking back at this point, and the reason he's looking back is because 56 is doing just fine on his own. He knows he's helping and he's there all right. But what he notices here is he says, "I see my quarterback's not going to throw this here. It's a pump fake." Number 20 has just flown past the play, and he's going to come back into it somehow or another. I need to get off this guy and help out on 20 so my quarterback can go scramble for a first down. It's a smart play by the tackle to release back out onto that and catch him, but it's also Humphrey just locking up that guy. Look, the guy doesn't even get back in to make a play on the ball. It just has him completely neutralized on the play and pass protection, basically in a one-on-one state, in my opinion. I've seen plenty of the video here with Oklahoma having even in combo block situations where he just takes it. He's like, I got this. I got this handled. That's not his problem there. Somebody else missed their block. Blocks this guy out. You have no chance of rushing me. I'm going to keep you right there. He's going to do very well. Very well. Does just enough there. There's some of, he's just got this, he's got some slyness to him. So you got to watch this play a couple of times to see what he's doing, but watch him as he gets out in the second level. Whoop. Just a little hook play. Now, this is definitely going to probably be called at the next level. Okay, so you're watching him here. This is usually not how you teach your lineman to want to be in this particular position at this moment. But he sort of gets it done. The guy's right on his back. He's trying to wall off. He's thinking wall off, so his head's in the right place. And he's going to wall off to allow the man come around the backside there. Just it's very it would be probably a hold, but again, it's hard for them to see those holds in there. There's a lot of men in there. There's a lot of traffic. Just whoop. The guy ends up on the ground, no flag. Hey, by any means necessary. And there we go, on the ground again. Just going to pancake you down the ground. Just effortless pancakes when he does them. Not violent, not shook, just you're going down. You're going down. See that? Like he just, I just watch this again. He just once he gets his hands on you, you're on the floor now. You're gonna you want to come back over here? No, you're on the ground. You're on the ground. Sorry, that's I don't like you when you're standing. You think you're gonna rush me over? You're gonna come in with a stunt? Oh, here's your little stunt. Here's your stunt. That's fertilizer. That's what your stunt is. Here we go. Here, let's see. Oh, he's bringing blitz. Bringing blitz. No, no blitz. Oh, a little late blitz. Freak the quarterback out. 1-on-1 again, holding up perfectly fine. Don't need any help. Now that guy, that's where it's the tackle. Look, he's holding up fine. Like the other guy learned that he could hold up fine and go help out. That guy didn't. He went out and decided he needed to help Creed out a lot more than he needed to. That's looked like their feet tangled. So Creed's up in the middle there. That's where they just did a good job on widening that stunt enough to make that happen. But again, they had to do that with the blitz to open up over the top. Creed on the second level. Finds guy. Does okay. Nice lockout. Nice lockout. Just keep him there. Just not gives up any ground. So those centers, if they're one-on-one, so often we saw this in the Joey Hunt days. You get a guy one-on-one against a one-tech or even, God forbid, a three-tech, and he's just going to get walked right back to the quarterback. Not Creed. Look at Creed. He's going to set down and he's a stump. Just a stump. You're not moving him. No way, no how. Points out the line blocking, gets ready, handles business, clean pocket, easy throw. Should have caught it. Well, that was not one of his prettier ones. Got off balanced. Kind of lost that one. Get that ball out, boy. Get that ball out. That was kind of just an odd play. Screen's jumping a little. Sorry about that. There we go. Just easy block. Finds his man, knows where he needs to go, gets the block laid. We're all good. Nothing fancy, nothing showy, nothing wow. Just gets it handled. Takes care of business. That's his little bit of, we saw that before. You get him off balance. Watch him here. Let's watch his one leg. This is his one leg bounce technique. You caught me on my side. You're up under me a little bit. I'm off balance. I could fall down, but he keeps his feet. Look at that. Go back a little further here. Watch him keep his feet here. Bop, 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 bop. And then he ends up pancaking you. That's ability. He's basically caught off guard, but ends the play in a pancaking. Pass protection ready. Quarterback had all the time in the world. Overthrew his man. Bam. Back on that wham block. Yeah, just beautiful job. A little crack back block, actually. Kind of what that is. Picks up the man on the secondary point. This is not going to be a wow film for you, folks. This isn't going to blow you away, but it's film that is impressive nonetheless. Let me block him. He was like, let's take a step backwards. Let me get a second to get this guy. TCU is definitely up in the pressure rate and challenging this guy to hit him deep because they don't trust him to hit these deep throws in this game. Walls him off. Very nice. Not his defender who made the tackle. See that? Wall him off. Get your position. Even when you're kind of knocked off balance a little bit, don't turn around and get your position right. The rest of the line might not be doing their job at times, but he's doing his. He's taking care of his business. He's bringing home his bacon. Let's finish strong here. Boom. Yeah, look at that. Get out of that hole. You don't belong in this hole. This hole is not for you. locks him up in pass protection. I mean, this right here is what this he just showed in 2 plays. What this is him. This is him. He is good in both of the aspects of your offense: pass protection, run blocking. Watch him lock this guy out. You're not getting a step back. Look, he's on the tee. He's on the tee the whole time. He's on the tee the whole time. A painted tee. You didn't move him off that tee. Very well done. Again, just good in pass protection, easy completion. Got to move a little bit on a reach block. Ooh, gets to the second level. That was one of his best jobs there of getting down. And again, just the nastiness. They cut away from it here. Look at him up on the top of your screen here in a second. Just watch what he does to this guy. Just kind of just at the end. Gives him a little bit of the business. Like, you little, just give him a little bit, Nothing happening there. Nice push. He's 4 yards down the field with his block. That's all you ask your guy to do. You got a center who's going to block a guy 4 yards down the field on a 1-on-1 situation. That is all you can ask. That is all you can ask. And that's where these big plays break out of, because then you basically get an extra offensive lineman at that point. That's what he sort of provided Oklahoma at times. Just an extra guy to be able to do this blocking. Now that hurt. Got him pulling in space. Ooh, we're going to move the pocket. Very well done. Ooh, that was a nice catch. Very nicely done, Mims Jr. Very nicely done. That was not an easy catch. Good job here by, I don't see 56 in the game. Oh, yeah, he is. He was over there on that right side. That's right. He was over there on that right side. There we go. Coming back up. Lock him out. Look at him just keep that wall. Again, just the thing shows up again and again. I know I'm saying this with him over and over again, but you see it just pop, pop, pop. Lyman's got his arm up trying to make it look like he's being blocked, buddy. Nothing happened, but you're being blocked. Now, look, they're even right now. But by the time that running back's going to arrive in his next 2 to 3 steps, Creed's going to be aware of that, and he's going to round his block over to make sure that he's got him walled off. Boop. Oh, you're walled off just as he goes past. Just as he goes past. You got him here. Oh, you're even kind of, and now I got you. Now it's me. I'd love to see this type of stuff, especially centers, especially one-on-one. Again, not a generational talent at the position, not a guy that's going to, redefine the center position, but a guy that should, as boring as it is to say, play a lot of years in this league and who could potentially be a good linchpin player for you in the center of your defense. All right, so I think we got a good feel for him here. We'll give him one last play. Oh, we can't finish it on a sack. I didn't look too good there. He was not great on the pass protection, that one. Let's be a little more nasty than that here. Come on now, Creed. Give us a good last block here. Give us something nasty there. He just cements down. That's the most push I've seen anybody push him back one-on-one. And even that was still what you would consider to be a good block. The guy didn't create necessarily pressure. What do you got, Creed? Come on. Bang. Seals up that block nice. That one wasn't on him. Again, yeah, there's tackle play in this game by Oklahoma has not been good. A lot of stuff happening off the edges. And all right, he missed a little bit there. That was definitely a miss on his part. Let's go back on this a bit. This is one where, again, we saw this earlier on the stunt pickup where the running back was there last time. We could excuse it for the running back before was not here. He was here in the hole. So we thought, okay, that's probably their pass protection, asking them to have Creed stay down on the guard. This time, though, he gets stuck down there as the looping defender comes around on the stunt and provides pressure on the quarterback. And you see Humphrey sort of in no man's land blocking, nobody on the play. So a little bit of issues maybe with stunts in pass protection showing up. Not you can kind of get him late coming back around. Teams are going to attack that on that. He can clean it up. It's something he's going to have to clean up. Nice little hole there created. Good little run block through. But it is part of the couple of the limitation points to his game. There you go again, just good push, gets his man leveled off, running back down the field for some good yardage. Again, leveled off, wall his man off, running backs down the field for some good yardage. Over and over again, you see the same thing with him, just doing what he should be doing. And he finished strong here on this game. So let's go to a recap summary on this guy. Okay, we got through, I think, Creed Humphrey here. Interesting prospect. Got a little bit of his highlights, couple game film. It gives us a general snapshot. If I was a general manager, of course, I would try to watch every game I could of his, all of his games if I could. I'd be wanting to watch all of the All-22 film. We'd be going even more deeper into this. But I think you do get a pretty good shot of a player overall. I don't think that it's kind of always a wide margin to me when people say, well, you've got to go to his junior tape or just locate his sophomore tape, and that's what it'll really tell you. Sometimes that's probably true in a case of a player where you can go back to a year where maybe they're not injured or circumstances were different. Maybe a receiver's got a better quarterback in his sophomore year rather than his junior year. But if you got a guy like an offensive lineman, I'd prefer to probably see that development come along. And I think it has with Creed. You can go back and watch some pretty old tape on him even in 2018 to see where he has gone and grown as a player, especially from the strength aspect of that, really turning that into a real plus side to his game. He is a technician. He is able to lay a block, wall off a defender, create a running lane for a running back. In pass protection, his best skill probably as a center is his ability to take on a defender one-on-one from that center position, which is a rarity, and not only take it down, but to anchor down and not give up any sort of ground whatsoever. It's an unusual trait for a center to have, and one that really stands out with this guy. He's got some deficiencies as well, I would say. Maybe not the longest arms, it looks like on tape to me. We saw he was having a little bit of issues at given times with maybe some stunts and twisting around. I think that's something that you can clean up. The one thing I'm not certain you're going to be able to really clean up is a little bit of his limitations into the second level. He's not awful at the second level. He's not just completely lumbering and missing on guys out there. He's able to find guys more often than not. But it is one of those points of his game which I don't know is going to be able to come along any further, unlike the stunt aspect of things. And so that's where I think it will probably drop him down the draft, where despite being maybe the number 2, 3 center in this draft, he probably goes into the middle to late second round, and where his positional value will probably really find him. But a fun player to watch, a guy who would come in and who I'd expect to compete with Posick out the gate, and depending on how hard Posick's trained, depending on how much Posick's development can go forward in another season, I still give this guy probably the slight edge in thinking that he would be probably your day one starter. They're going to come in, they're going to find him to be they're going to be very impressed with what he can do. When Carroll sees them take a one tech, wall him off, and then he's able to take these guards and then move them in space at that point to the edge of the defense, or just use them for however you want to use them at that point. You know, you could have them help on a defensive end that's a problem child for one of your tackles. You can go any way you want. It really gives you a lot of flexibility. Carroll's going to love that for the run game, and he's really going to gravitate towards wanting to start that type of player. I see Creed Humphrey in the mid-second round. I would be perfectly happy if the Seattle Seahawks made him their first pick in this particular draft. And I thought he'd be a great, ideal little player for us to kick this little series off with.